want to learn more about what you do more in detail. I mean, Thursday, I'm going to learn a lot. So tell us kind of how you got to where you're at, what you're doing, and just kind of everything.
Yeah. I grew up, from a really small town. Both my parents were very entrepreneurial in general, but also I think I grew up in a house where like the word sales wasn't like a bad word. Like it just never was. There was never a bad connotation to it. There was never like negativity around it. So I ran competitive. I started running AAU track when I was in third grade. I went to undergrad and grad school at Mizzou. And then I was in sales for my whole existence. From the time my dad made me pay for half of my running shoes and I sold painted rocks door to door, every job that I had after school. I am very entrepreneurial, something that I think is interesting. I haven't had a W-2 employee job since I was 26.
There you
So,
go.
and I just turned 40. So it's not anything that's been foreign to me, but doing what I do now, I didn't know that it existed. As a kid, if you would have asked me, like, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do when you grow up? I never had an answer for that. Like, I never knew. And I honestly, 100%, I'm not a professional athlete and I'm not a famous person and I'm not any of those things that people are like, oh, you're living your dream, but I am 100% living my dream, like doing what I was supposed to be doing. I just didn't know how to combine it. So now I am an executive coach one-on-one, and then I do sales and leadership development, and then sales trainings inside companies, and then keynote speaking events. So I just get to be in the mix with everybody, you
Yeah.
know?
I
Yeah.
see all your videos on LinkedIn. If you gotta go connect with Billie Jo because she puts out
Yeah.
some really good sales content. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could totally see you. I think you might have mentioned this on like our first meeting that we ever had. Do you do like sales coaching for dealerships and
Hmm.
teams at dealerships? Okay,
Hmm.
so you're like the female Andy Elliott. Is that what this is?
Kind of. I think I have a really big heart. So I work in a lot of like oil and gas. I work in a lot, anything that where people sell things.
Yeah, yeah,
But even on the other side, like I have clients that are actuarial consultants in CPAs. Like it really doesn't matter. Everything is sales. But I have a really big heart for automotive because I grew up in it. My dad has been in the automotive business my whole life. I used to charge his guys like $10 a pop on Saturdays to run their Carfaxes back in the day. But it's an industry that it's one of the only industries that left in the world. Sorry, let me just silence this. That if you have no experience, literally, if you've never sold a thing, if you don't have a college degree, am I allowed to cuss on this? I almost
yeah.
said a cuss word.
So
Okay.
it's our own show.
Yeah, you could not even know how to tie your shoes, okay? And you could go into the car business day one and in a year make 100 grand and in 2 years be making 300, $250,000 a year. But it is a beat down
Yeah.
and it's very old school. The way that they develop people is not happening, but it's an intimidating industry because it's very type A personalities who are just going to get it across the line by sheer force of will.
Yeah.
And so I have to be able to punch them in the nose a little bit to just get them on the same playing field. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you like Andy Elliott or not, but have you seen his clips he makes online where he calls dealerships and acts like he's interested in cars?
No, I haven't seen
He'll
those.
call people and he'll be like, "Yeah, I'm looking at this, Hyundai Santa Fe. It's 35,000 and the VIN number's blah blah blah." And the guy's like, "Okay, what do you want?" And he's like, "Oh my god." And then he's like, "Wait, hold on." And like at the end of the call, he's like, "How long have you been in sales?" And Andy's accent, he goes, "Sales." He calls it sales. "How long have you been
Sale.
in sales?" And he like coaches them at the end. And some guys will hang up on him and some of them will go, "Oh my god, Andy, I love your videos." And he goes, "Well, then why aren't you listening to me? Because you could have sold me this stinking car." It's so funny, but they're so good. I've actually shown clients some of his videos because I'm like, man, like it's so simple that it's
And
not. You don't need to outthink the room on sales.
you don't have to, there's no, even like when I talk to people about like engaging in coaching or training, it is not, there's no new information under the sun. To
Yeah,
be really transparent, Any salesperson, any person, you could go to Tony Robbins' YouTube and be set for life,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
But the problem is not the information. It's exactly what happened on that call with Andy Elliott. It's the implementation.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need someone, look, in your corner holding your nose to the grindstone or feet to the fire, whatever analogy you want to use. And I think that that's the disconnect 100%. There's not a single person, and I say person, professional athlete from Tiger Woods to Bill Gates to whoever. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. There's not a single person in the world performing at the top of their game that doesn't have a coach.
Yeah.
There's not a single person.
Right.
Bill Gates talks about his coach all the time. If you were Texans, Mark Cuban, like it doesn't matter. There's not a single person operating at the very top of their game and threshold that doesn't have a coach. You
100%.
need someone in there to
Yep.
bring perspective. And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
pretty
I mean,
much
heck,
what it is.
Matt and I, we do advisory. Like I
Yeah.
have business advisory clients. He has CFO advisory clients. Matt and I pay a lot of money every month. It's a four-figure number for our advisor.
Yeah.
Like, we pay a
You have
lot of money.
to
Yeah.
if
You
that's what you want,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah, and he pushes us, and because he's been there and he's done it at a higher level than we're at now. I think that's super important. You mentioned you don't need a degree. I haven't
Yeah.
announced this yet, but I'm actually this week I've started to put a lot of effort into it. I'm actually writing my first book, and I'm gonna do an audio book too. And so it's kind of funny. I used your terminology of no degree. The title, I don't know if this is set in stone, but I really, really like it. It's called 0 to 1 million, a no degree founder's playbook.
That's so good.
That's how
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. So
Yeah.
I haven't announced this until right now, so it's
They've
kinda cool, but
done what was the book? They've done 212 degrees, but they haven't done no degree.
there you go. There you go. That's all I wanna do, because I wanna show people what's possible when you don't have a degree. So
And I think that when people ask me what I do, it's hard. Once they start going through the process, it makes sense. But I live in the how. Like people know, you can tell. Even I'll talk to leaders and they're like, well, I need to hire. I need to my salespeople just need to do better. We need more accountability. We need all these things. They know what needs to happen. They even know why it needs to happen or why they do what they do. I think all of us, if you've been around since Simon Sinek has been here, we all know how to get to our why pretty
yeah,
quickly. But it's the how that freezes people. And that's where I live.
yeah,
In like anything and everything, I know how to dump it all out on the table and figure out how to do it.
right. Tell me
People.
how you work with a client on that. Kinda walk me through your process a little bit.
Yeah, it just depends on, where they are in their business, right? So whether that's, okay, I need my team, I need to figure out, duplicate myself, right? We get these buzzwords about every 4 years, and duplicate yourself is like the one that's going around now. And what does that actually mean? And so I spend 45 minutes with them initially, just digging into their crap. I have a personality assessment that shoots out 72 pages of information about them.
There you go.
We use them the wrong way. I think a lot of the time people have their teams take personality tests and they look at the information and I'm like, okay, I get it now. And they move on. But for me, the personality assessment is more about understanding yourself. Being a good leader is more about self regulation than it is trying to get someone else to do something different
Yeah.
in the way that we dispense feedback, in the way that we challenge them, in the way that we do all those things. And a lot of the times people will find me and they'll be like, here's my problem, when the actual problem is way over here somewhere. So
More often than not.
I spend a lot of time diving into that. If I'm going to be working a lot with a team, I'll go spend a day or two watching the business operate. My thing is finding information, right? Because I don't want to be, and excuse me for this. I'm from Kansas. Like we have lots of farm metaphors, lots of violence in our metaphors, but it's the thing that makes sense to me. Most times, what I see with leaders is they show up to a house with a machine gun and they just start spraying. And they hope
Mhm.
that they hit the people that were inside that they needed to hit. I want you to shoot one shot as a sniper and make it a kill shot. And the only way to do that is to find all the information that I can to be able to do that. And then when I engage one on one, I won't take anyone that's not willing to do one-on-one coaching for a year. I need to go through all 12 months because June looks different than January, and I
Yep,
don't want
that's
a
good.
problem to keep showing up, right?
I like that.
But I really look at it like a personal trainer, but for your business. If you aren't willing to meet me at the gym at 6:30 and do push-ups, your biceps are never gonna change. It's never gonna happen. So I really have to figure out if they're willing to be coachable to do that, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I do something a little similar. I need to go more in depth clearly, but based on what you just told me, but I have for my business advisory clients, I don't start working with someone until I understand where they are at on what I call the intent spectrum. So, we've got some clients that I use this example all the time with prospects, but I've got some clients that, they own their business and they want to build it to the point where they can just sit on a beach, drink Mai Tais and margaritas and just let their business run and send them their Mai Tai and margarita money, right? And then I've got other business owners that they love working 60 plus hours a week. Don't really know why, but that's what they want to do, right? So I've got both sides and then everywhere in between. So I want to find out first, what is it that you want? Where
Yes.
do you fall on the intent spectrum? So I think that's super important. And then what I like to do is steer the ship in that direction. So, okay, you want to be on the beach in 5 years. Okay, what do we need to do? To get there, right? Or you want to
Yes.
operate 60 hours a week. Okay, great. I can still work with you. What if we eliminated the things that you dread doing at least, right? Maybe I mean, we've got one guy that he loves working and doing all this stuff, but I'm like, man, there's like two or three things or more probably that you can eliminate that are just like it's actually costing you more. I mean, how much do you love to do these things? It's like it's costing you
Yeah.
more money, dude. So,
One
yeah.
of the first things I do with clients during their like first 2 months of coaching is I make them keep a time awareness log. And I'm upfront with them and I'm like, look, this is the most annoying thing that
That's a
you're
good idea.
ever gonna do. But it's the only way that I can be like right next to you without being right next to you. But I'm like, I want you to keep what they end up finding is like how the biggest amount of time waste that I see overall is losing time in transition from like task to task and managing interruptions. Because if you have a 3-minute interruption, it takes you 3 times the amount that that interruption took to get back to the level of productivity you were before. So if you're having 3-minute interruptions, let's say that's 9 minutes. If you're having that 3 times a day, that's half an hour of just interrupted time that doesn't mean anything. And the question that you ask, I heard it phrased this way and it stuck with me forever. What has to be true for me to be there that isn't true today, which is why I'm here? And make a list. Sometimes I'll have people that are like, well, I want to do this. And I'm like, okay, well, someone who's doing that, what does that look like? It's the James Clear identity thing, right? Who is a person who has that and does that? And let's go to work on the list that you don't have and figure out how to make it true.
Yeah, I made a YouTube video on that once. I said, the title was "What Got You Here Won't Get You There." You need to do new things. I was gonna mention that's funny you mentioned distractions and, like, changing from task to task. I'll never forget I was on a call with a guy that's a client now, and he owns a business here and very successful. He's got multiple branches just in the state of Texas alone, and he one of our first calls and I think he got two phone calls during our meeting and then also two people just barged into his closed office. And I asked him like, "Hey, what was that about? What was that?" And I'm trying to figure out what his day looks like. And he's like, "Oh, so and so is asking what I want for lunch." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Really? Is that really important right now?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"First of all, no one should be barging into your office when the door's closed." Like,
Well,
and so I
100%.
think I try to implement office hours for a lot of our advisory clients. Having office hours. Hey, my time is from 12 to 2. You can come into my office at any moment between the hours of or whatever it is that you want to
Yeah,
set from
whatever you
12 to 2.
decided it.
But outside of this time, you need to hold off and wait until 12 to 2. And that's not being rude. That's just respecting your own time and having boundaries.
100, and I think that it's really hard to that's why I think coaching is important in terms of like perspective and stuff like that, because it's really hard for us. I work with clients on like their schedule, and there's a difference between a calendar and a schedule.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There really is. A
Yeah.
calendar is reactive, meaning when the 15-minute alarm goes off, like you jump into action for whatever's next. A schedule is different. and all of your time is accounted for, including your free time. I always say the more scheduled you are, the more free time you have. Like the more regimented you are. And look, as a person, as a human being, if you meet me out in the wild, you know this, I am bebopping all around. I am a free range chicken. If it is 75 degrees outside and it looks like there's no humidity, I'm going to have a margarita somewhere unless my schedule says otherwise. So I don't, I am a little bit drill sergeant-y, but I don't believe in creating restraints that are holding you back from anything. Like freedom happens within restraints. The more restrained you are in some areas, the more freedom you have in others. And the amount of interruptions, the amount of busy work, the amount of things that fill your calendar expand to fill the space you allow it to. So if you've created a calendar and a way of like moving through your day where you have I call it the firefighting phase, have a place where all you do is put out fires. Have a place where all you do is manage interruptions. Have a place where you do that, but don't let it be the thing that takes up your entire day.
Yeah, and I think about it because it's happened to me. I'm like, what is that stealing from? For me, it steals from time with my wife,
Soon a
eventually
baby.
time with my kids. Yes, exactly. So I had a bit of a breakdown. Was it 2 weeks ago? We were in Oregon and we went on our baby moon, I guess you would call it, and we ended up having to cut it short. There was some smoke from fires in the area, and Caitlin didn't feel
Yeah.
good about that, breathing that in. So we left early, but my whole point, I was like so tense leading up to it because I'm like, we're in this time right now where we're growing so freaking fast. I'm like, I have to work, and I was stressing about it, and I talked to our advisor, and he's like, get up super early, work, and then wake up right next to her. And he's like, just don't, because I feel guilty that I'm taking away from what should be our time. So I'm trying to get to that point where I can take. I just took my first 24 hours off on Saturday. That I couldn't tell you the last time I took a full day off. Couldn't tell
What
you.
did that feel like?
I was bored.
Yeah.
I was very bored.
Were you able to shut off because one of the hardest things for like entrepreneurs is, especially in depending on what phase you are building wise, is
Yeah.
actually being able to shut it off and be all the way present.
I mean, I don't. Okay, I'll say one thing that is a really useful thing. If you have email notifications on your phone, delete them now. Remove notifications because you'll like I have a tendency to if I saw my phone light up, I'm gonna go look at what it is, right? I would check my email on Saturday a couple times, but no, I legit took a day off. I really was bored. I really, really was. But it also felt good at the same time. So it was
Yeah,
nice.
and your boredom, you're gonna be wishing for boredom and this baby comes out. You're
Yeah.
gonna be like, "Remember when I was bored?"
I know, exactly, exactly. Does Kansas have the type of humidity that Houston have? I mean, not the level, but does it have humidity?
Yes. It is, I mean, and all of my family, so 6 brothers and sisters, there are 7 of us, and me and my sister Samantha are the only ones. So my sister lives in Miami, and I live in Houston. There's humidity, but it is not the same, and it's not for the same length of time. And
Yeah,
not only do you get the humidity, but the sun is so hot. It's so hot. Our blood is so thin down
yeah,
here that when you go, if it's 75 degrees, I'm putting on a coat. Like,
yeah,
I can't do it anymore.
that's
Like,
funny.
it's
Man,
ridiculous.
Caitlin and I have this dream of I might have told you this, but we have this dream of buying a house in Central Oregon and staying
Beautiful.
there from it'd be Memorial Day to Labor Day, basically, and living in Central Oregon. Because I mean, if you haven't gone in the summertime, it's like the most amazing place in the world.
Any of those places too. I have a
Yeah.
friend that's playing golf in Utah right now in Park
Utah's
City.
beautiful, one of my
It's
favorite states,
gorgeous.
one of my
I'm
favorite
like,
states.
"What's the temperature?" He's like, 85.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yep,
you know,
it's
it's
amazing.
it's gorgeous.
Colorado too, Colorado's great in the summertime too, so
Michigan even, or
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
Minnesota,
for
or,
sure.
anything that honestly, just anything that's not here, really.
Yeah, yeah,
Just anything
I
that's not
know,
here.
I
Yeah.
know, I'm
When are you guys due? When are you guys due?
day after Thanksgiving. Yep,
Turkey baby.
yep, exactly. But yeah, we're looking at potentially in the next couple years moving to Austin at least, like on the outskirts. We really like Dripping Springs area, so we'll see what happens, but yeah, I think I'm about done with Houston though, and just the the traffic, the weather, just like everything takes me 45 minutes to an hour to get to. I mean, we moved out of the to the country a little bit on purpose. Just I'm not a, s- I'm not a city person whatsoever.
I
I can't
can't
do
do
it.
the traffic.
I'm like you though. I haven't had a W-2, not as long as you, but I haven't had a W-2 since 2020. So it's been
Yeah.
6 years for me.
Yeah, yeah. And with so, like, when I see people, like, when I have a training that's, like, downtown Houston, I will leave here at 5 a.m. just to get on the other side of it, and I'll
Yeah.
go sit somewhere and work. And when I get stuck in traffic, that's why I think if we work from home, it's exponentially worse because we're not in it all day, every day.
Yeah.
And I see people and I'm like, "How are you doing this? Literally, how are you doing this every day that this is your life and you're just anting to work?"
I don't get it. Caitlin and I go on
Mm-mm.
a walk every night, and we wait till, like, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and it's still I mean, it's still sticky, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot better because the sun's at least going down, but, yeah,
And
I'm
it's
just
starting to I do so Louis and I, my dog,
yeah,
we do 2 miles at like 6 o'clock, like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. We do a mile around like noon, and then we do a mile around like 8 o'clock.
uh-huh,
And it's already the darkness is it's not getting light at 6 a.m. So that means
okay.
fall's coming and I'm
Yeah,
ready.
yeah.
Yeah. It's on
No,
its way.
I've always said pretty much October, November, and then February, March, that's the time that I'm reminded, "Oh, that's why I live in Texas
That's
now."
why I live here.
It's the
Yeah.
best. It's the best, I'm not freezing my butt off.
No.
So,
Or if you're playing golf, yeah, in November or December,
yeah.
like you're like, "Oh yeah, I get it. I understand."
I man, I golfed a few weeks ago at Memorial with some guy with Cody and some of the guys and David Bain as well. And these geniuses decided to book a 1:30 tee time. And I'm like, I will never I told Cody, this is the last time. I'm never doing this again.
Do it. I
I'm
Someone asked
pretty
me to
sure I
play.
had minor heat stroke symptoms.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding.
I wouldn't someone asked me to play a night round tonight in Kingwood, and I said, "Do not call me until mid-September. Do not call me." Because here's the thing, if I lived in Minnesota, I would golf no matter what because the golf season is so short. We live in Houston.
Are
We
you a
can
morning
golf.
person though?
Yeah, I'm a morning person.
See,
7 a.m.
I'll golf at 7, like, well, let's
Sure.
go. Let's
I won't
go,
go
you
any
know?
later than 7:30 though.
Yeah.
If it's later
Yeah.
than 7:30, it's why I won't golf in the rain. I
Yeah.
I don't have to, okay? I'll golf
No.
tomorrow. Like, what are you
Exactly.
talking about? No, I'm not doing it. And I'm not
Yeah.
sweating for no reason. I'm just
No.
not. Yeah. So
No.
I'm just turning people down left and right.
Yeah. I
Call me
spoke
in October.
yeah. I did a podcast with your buddy Guy earlier today, and that
Yeah.
went really well, so I'm hoping we can get him to help us out with our tournament in March. So,
He's a hard person. You have to know how to pull things out of him because he's overwhelmingly one of the coolest, and he gives back per
yeah.
year over $500,000 to charities just by
Wow.
running those activations and things that he does. Like half a million
Yeah.
dollars a year just back to all these
That's cool.
organizations. So it's really cool. It's a really cool business that I didn't know existed till,
Yeah.
I started
He
working with
told
him.
he told me he does 300 or last year, he did 300 tournaments.
Yeah, he does around like 300, 350
That
tournaments
is a
just in Houston.
that feels like more than a full-time job to me. That's
And
insane.
it's only in so he's off all of July and August, and he's off all of December and January. So that's taking
Wow.
4 months of the year
So
out.
8 months out of the year, he does
His
300.
people, I think last year there was one day that they had like 17 events in one day because it's all crammed in on those days. And he does
Yeah.
events like at Kingwood that are like 250 golfers per course,
Yeah.
3 courses. It's insane. I can't. It's cool. Entrepreneurs are cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming up with ideas like that, it's
I
cool.
I know. I love doing golf tournaments too. I loved ours, and then I love I know you weren't able to make it this
Yeah.
March, but next year, we're definitely gonna have you on a team because it's a lot of fun.
Are you
To
guys gonna
play
do Memorial again?
that's the plan. As long as Julie's there, we'll do Memorial. Yep. Have you
Mhm.
played it with the grandstands up before?
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be as special for you, but it's if you've never done it, it's really, really cool.
It's so
So,
cool. It's cool
yeah.
just to be like and then it makes watching it even better because when you're watching them do it, you're like, "Oh, I was right there." Like, I
Yeah,
was right there, he's hitting from right there. I know what
exactly.
kind of shot he's about to
Well,
take.
there's that bunker I landed
Yeah,
in,
there's
like
that bunk oh, there's where my ball went in the water. Like,
exactly.
it makes you're more invested. I feel the same
Yeah.
way about watching the girls at Carlton Woods.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, I was gonna say the course a few weeks ago when we went, it was probably about a month ago now, I say a few weeks, but it was in rough shape. I mean, it's amazing in March because they have a tournament ready, but it was in rough shape. I feeling like summer, that's probably pretty standard for them. It's
This
a
time
little
of year
rougher.
is just hard. Have you ever
Yeah.
played Highland Pines?
Don't know.
They have, which is such a big deal in Texas, they have zoysia fairways and zoysia greens, and you usually don't get that unless you're playing, like, up north, like Boston or, like,
Interesting.
somewhere where the climate can handle it because it's
Okay.
so hot. The fact that they can keep their course the way that it is, they're trying to go private. It's the most insane, it's crazy. It's so good. It's such a good
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Okay.
It's off of 99 I don't up this way a little bit, like
Okay.
towards the ends. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta once the weather cools off a little in the fall, we gotta put more
Yeah.
golf days together.
Yeah.
Get Cody out there and get a bunch of the other members out there. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
we gotta loosen up his swing.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
tell him
hey,
I
we
said
gotta
that.
I
Or
did you
tell
see
him.
the I sent out that invite today where we thought, "Let's do a happy hour at Moonshine Deck and for Thursday Night Football." I don't know if you saw that, but
Yes,
I
so I
sent
have
that
some
out.
feelings because obviously diehard Chiefs fan, like
Yeah.
murderous, and it's Eagles, Bills, and
Lionsville. Lionsville.
Giants, Bills? Okay, it's not the
Lions.
Lions? Okay.
Lions, roar.
So I went to Lions Bills in Detroit last year. Like,
Okay.
it was insane, but I want Josh Allen to win. I want him to have a Super Bowl. I really, really, really do, but it
Yeah.
cannot be at the expense of Patrick Mahomes.
Well,
It
it would
can't.
be because 'cause
He
they're in the
should have
same.
won last year. That's why I was
Well,
like, last year I
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
rooting
I
for him
got you.
all in. I was like, go Bills. But now what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to the Bills. I went to the Bills game last year when they were in Houston, and then they're in Houston again this year. I'm taking my dad, so it'll be
Have you
fun.
been to the Bills Mafia tailgate downtown?
No, but I think you might have told me about that or I heard about that
It is,
somewhere.
I'm talking not, okay, obviously not World Cup big, but
Yeah.
it's like 350 people. It is like they shut down 3 streets. It
Wow.
is Bills Mafia. They are doing dances, they're doing all kinds of stuff. It is crazy down there
Is it
when they play the Texans.
just when they're in town, or is it
Yeah, just
yeah,
when they're in town. Yep, that's the only
okay,
time they do it.
okay.
So when they're in town, you should just go down for the tailgate, just
So they're
to
down
go
there and
down there.
jumping on tables and shit?
And it's so many Bills fans. And I
Yeah.
always think it's cool to find your fans in another city. Like when I go to like a Chiefs Denver game and I find Chiefs fans, like I'm so excited. Like in
Yeah.
another city, you know? Feel makes
Yeah.
it feel like home. But if you're a Bills fan, you should go down for Bills Mafia tailgate.
I definitely wanna do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun. I'm looking forward to this football season. I can't wait. I got my pumpkin cold brew this morning. I'm like, "I'm ready to go." It's fall. It's fall.
I'm ready
No
too. Me too.
jokes, no jokes. Hey, I posted it on LinkedIn. You should have saw that. So
Yeah, that you drink your pumpkin latte. I like it.
I did. I
Yeah.
did. Yep.
Pumpkin
That's
cold
my
brew.
thing. Today's the day they released it. I
Listen, they
literally I
wouldn't
woke up.
sell it if people didn't love it. I'm like, let's
I
all
know.
stop being a brat and a hater because
I know.
if they didn't love it, they would not keep selling it.
Look,
Why are we trying to fight City Hall?
I know. I forgot it was being released today. Caitlin kept telling me, and then I jump on my Starbucks app. I was like, this morning woke up early. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like going to get a cold brew. That happens a few times a week. Or I'll go at like 6 a.m. and get a coffee. And I drive out and I pull up my app and I'm like, and they're like, pumpkin is here. I'm like, no shit. So I'm like, here we go.
Let's go.
Yep.
White girl, basic white girl engaged.
So
Let's
I'm
go.
screwed. Here comes my fall 10 pounds from drinking pumpkin spice crap. So
And not sweating 24 hours a day.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
that's how it is.
So
Yeah.
awesome. Well, this has been
Awesome.
great. And
Yeah.
yeah, where can people find you? I know you got LinkedIn and everything, but what else? Is there anything else you want to promote or shout out?
No, I mean, I think that people I wish that people would take to heart more. If you keep saying that you want the level of success that you want, then you have to be willing to do the thing that successful people do. And there's not a single person operating at the top of their game that doesn't have a coach. It doesn't have to be me, but find somebody to get in your shit.
Yeah. Yep. You might be straining now as a business owner, but we can always strain a little bit more and you'll be amazed at what happens when you
You'll
strain
be
just a little
amazed.
bit more, a little bit more.
And streaming in the right ways.
Yes,
Yeah.
pushing yourself, pushing
Yes.
yourself. Yep,
Yes.
exactly.